Galisteo back at it again with an updated Recalbox 128GB image, and this one made my top 5 on my last 128GB showdown, and it is another one for the record books. Do note that there's a little bit of setup needed. I included some of it towards the end of this video if you need help switching it to English from Portuguese, as well as there's a secondary video link in the description that's going to help you out a ton, because this is a .bin file, not a .img file, which is a little different, but it works pretty much the same way. With all that said though, check it out. Some new updates, some fixes. Whenever you got an image and it just gets that little bit of extra things done to it and gets it squared away even more, some mistakes were found and fixed. That's what we get here. So without further ado, here we go. The latest Galisteo 128. Alright, Galisteo back at it with another Recalbox image, and for those of you that missed my top 5 128GB images, this definitely made the list. It is a beauty, and now we're totally updated now with 10,597 games, including hacks, a really simple theme. This image does have a couple of little kinks in it that you have to get past, like setting up your controller, changing the language. The other thing is Scum VM is in Portuguese, and then it does have Kodi installed with a bunch of those add-on packs like Exodus and the like, and all you need to do is the subtitles are right now set up in Portuguese, just change them to English. This is Recalbox, so Kodi is right there when you hit start. You can also do a shortcut. I believe you hit Y on your controller. Yep, you hit Y on your controller. No, I don't want to go to Kodi, but if I did, it does come with Asylum, Covenant, Neptune Rising, The Pyramid, and Rebirth add-ons already installed. So that's a bonus. You just have to change those subtitles. I have this on a SanDisk Ultra, 128GB. And it's a .bin file, 127,865,520,000 bytes, 119 gigabytes. You will need a program called Image USB in order to write this image, and you are going to need a USB to micro USB adapter. So yeah, your micro USB connects to your computer via a USB port, and typically you would do that with the adapter. Now, it works. I got it working. You just need to do those little things. Other things while we're talking about it is Cave Story is there's a Cave Story game. It's just a small little game. Is in Portuguese, and then the Scum VM is in Portuguese as well. It's not that cave. There's a cave over here, and we're about to get into the good though. There's a lot of good going on here. Cave Story there. So it still has 10,597 games, 76 systems, and it's running Recalbox version 4.1. So already some cool things. Continued, fixed bugs from the previous version. Coleco and Odyssey and Capcom have all been fixed some bugs where the gaming wasn't working. Now they work. They added Dynavision, Amiga 600, Amiga 1200, and Sharp X68000 systems. A couple other things, MAME now runs Moonwalker, Alex Kidd, Altered Beast, theme updated with source switching and new systems in music. Something cool about the theme music is there's a different music for each as you scroll over to each individual game. Added Nintendo hacks as well. Added some rare games like Alex Kidd 2, Alex Kidd 3, Star Fox 2, Cave Story, which is in Portuguese, and some Scum VM, and also with the Super Nintendo 64, even as the Super Mario 64, with the first person Super Mario 64. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. Let's start at Dreamcast. So Dreamcast, 22 games. And Dreamcast runs pretty good on here, so a lot of these games are going to run. Nice to see. These are some bigger games, so nice to see 21 Dreamcast games. Game Gear, 262. Sega SG-1000, 68. Star Wars Collection, so this isn't really system, we'll skip that. PlayStation, 90 games. So he's got Crash Bandicoot and Road Rash as his favorites. And quite a few collections of PlayStation games. So fitting the lot on here. Now this does not have video snaps because Recalbox does not support video snaps. So that's going to save a lot more space for games. You know, that could be an additional 10, 20, 30 PlayStation games. PSP, so nice to see. A lot of these games do run, as long as they're not too 3D-like. And I've tested these before, and these all run pretty good. All right, and Street Fighter Alpha 3. PC Engine, 290. PC Engine CD-ROM, 19 of these. These take up quite a bit of space. Super Graphics, 5. Pretty standard there. Scum VM, there's 10. So not taking up too much space. And you can delete these, especially if you want English. And or just switch them out to the English versions. Neo Geo, 138. Looks like he's a King of Fighters fan, favoriting all those. Should have your Metal Slugs as well. So a lot of little hacks here. So that's cool to see. A large Neo Geo hack collection. You don't see that very often. Usually you only see the hacks for the consoles, for the Nintendo, Sega consoles. So good to see. Cave Story is just a standalone game, but it is in Brazilian. You'd probably want to reinstall that and get it as English if you want. Atari 2600, 643, 7800, 64, Atari Lynx 76, Neo Geo Pocket 9, Neo Geo Pocket Color 82, Wonder Swan 112, Wonder Swan Color 91, Doom 4 games. So we got Doom, Doom, Platonia, and Doom TNT installed. Coleco 149, Vectrix 90, Amstrad 360, Apple II 23. A lot of games here. MSX 1 and 2, over 600 there. Commodore Amiga 600. This is brand new right here. So cool to see. Aladdin and the disc setup. Commodore 1200, 174 games. And then this is new, the 68,000 Sharp, 232. Nice to see. Odyssey, 116. So now we're in the collection. So we got shoot 'em ups, Capcom games, but then we have MAMEs. So only 391 arcades, so not that crazy. I don't know if that includes the CPA. Yeah, this is Final Burn, so 71 on here. Final Burn Alpha, Libretto. MAME, and then MAME hacks, 16 games. So Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition hacks, Street Fighter M4, Sunset Riders hack, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time hack, The Punisher, Twin Cobra, Cadillacs, and Dinosaurs. Couple different versions there. So then we got some more collections on the arcades. Yes, so that's exactly what he did. So he dismembered the MAME system. So the arcade games, you have to add in all your shoot 'em ups, your Capcoms, your all your different publishers. He broke it up, so there's no duplicates. All your Midway games are in here. So if you want to do Mortal Kombat, they're all here. Namco, SNK. So all your arcade games all set up. All of his favorites in here. You can see all of his favorites. A lot of really good games. A lot of the games that he was highlighting in his description can be found here. So this is a good place to start if you want to start gaming. A lot of really good games here. Super Nintendo 901, Super Nintendo Hacks 93, Super Famicom 159, Nintendo 820, Nintendo Hacks 13, Dynavision 100 games here. Nintendo 64 236. Good to see. Nintendo 64 hacks, 20 hack games. So some Mario 64, DK 64, 74, Galaxy, all sorts of stuff. Game Boy 489, Game Boy Advance 1062, Game Boy Color 554, Family Computer Disk System 237, Virtual Boy 26, Game & Watch 51, Sega Master System 292, some more collections there, Tectoy 41, Sega Mega Drive 816, Sega Mega Drive Hacks 58. So a lot of them. You've seen those before, though. Sega CD 20. So a lot of the best Sonic CD. No Terminator, though. Sad, very sad. No Terminator, but still, that's all right. Sega 32X, 37, and then we're back at Sega Dreamcast. Something I did want to check really quick was how the portables were displaying. So let's go ahead and load a game really quick. You can see it just kind of goes into the system like that. You got the launch screen. Okay, so it looks like all the reses are set normal, no bezels. And then let's go ahead and load a, let's go ahead and go over to his favorites and load some of those games up. So, King of Fighters, let's make sure Neo Geo's working. Looking good. And here we are. We're in the game. Okay, so that's working good. Start select out. Let's try a different system. Tetris. Okay, Sequest. Pitfall. We got Frogger. Make sure our arcade is working. All right, looking good. All right, that's working just fine. Alex the Kid 2 was one of the rarities. Let's make sure this is in fact working. All right, in the Miracle World too. Nice. So this is working good. All right. Okay, this is working. All right, plug in a controller, hold down the A button. You should get to this setting here. Go ahead and do your D-pad first. Just follow the icons, the up, down, left, right. This is your analog stick 1, your left analog stick, so just do up and then left. You don't have to do a right or a down. And then your second analog stick, up and then left again, and that's all you should have to do for your analogs. There's no right or down. A, B, X, Y should be fairly simple. Follow the pictures in front of you. Start, select, fairly simple as well. When you get down to the L1, R1, those are my bumpers. So left bumper, right bumper. L2, R2 is your triggers. L3, just hold down the A button and skip these, and then set select as your hotkey. So you're skipping L3, R3. When you get back in, hit start on your controller, go to the second menu item, then go down 4 on this one to idioma, which is language, and then changes to English, and then click fechar, which means back. It's going to say, hey, do you want to restart in Portuguese? You just press the OK button, A again, and then it'll reboot, and you're all set. There you have it. This menu system is definitely big. I don't know if I'm necessarily a fan of that. But at the same time, I mean, when you get a 128 gigabyte image, I really feel like people want these ultimate collections, and this one does not disappoint. Now, remember those things I mentioned, how there is a little customization you have to do here, but I really like it because it's a fully loaded Recalbox image. There's no BS here. This is all games, nothing else. Do note that I made a video about how to set up his old image, and the same things apply as far as how you write it to a USB and what adapter you need, setting up your controls, and changing the language. It's all the same. So that video is still going to be very relevant to this build. Once you go through that video, you get it set up the way you want. The only downsides I see are, change the subtitles in your Kodi, change out your ScumVM and your Cave Story. Everything else should be good to go. Some people think that's a drag, but it's fairly easy to do. It's still got like my top 4 128, and with these updates and some fixes that I didn't catch before, this system is just even better. You don't see a 128 with this many games, including some high-end systems like the PSP and the PlayStation. The other thing is this image has some games I've never seen on any other image, like the Alex the Kid hacks, the Super Mario 64 hacks, like all of them. So it definitely is a loaded image and something new and refreshing. So I welcome that very much. So with all that said, I'm going to have to give this one I'm gonna give it. I would like to give it an A. I know a lot of you out there who find this, the editing and the changing really a drag. You guys probably would want me to say A minus, so I'd say A minus to you guys. But for those of you that could get your way around Recalbox just a little bit, I got to give this one an A, because with those small fixes, you got such a beautiful thing here. So with all that said, that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.